Before Elon, before TikTok, before your Bluetooth toaster had more processing power than a NASA rocket, there was a time when horsepower came in wedges and dashboards glowed like disco floors. Welcome to the wild, turbocharged, neon-soaked birth of the 300ZX. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Pro Street TV. Today we are looking into the rise of the 300ZX and asking ourselves why it failed to live up to the hype. Chapter 1. The origin of the 300ZX. The year is 1984. Prince had the #1 song with When Doves Cry. People were scared of Big Brother. And everyone was wearing shoulder pads. Nissan? Turns out they had some weird ideas of their own. They gave us a sports car with pop-up headlights, turbo lag, and a digital dash that looked like it was stolen from an Atari. This was the beginning for the first 300ZX. Nissan said, let's take the beloved 280ZX and give it some edge. So they took the Datsun name out back, slapped on some square angles, injected it with turbo sauce, and boom, the Z31. It came with a 3-liter turbocharged V6, the VG30DET. 1 turbo, lots of torque, and just enough boost to make your mullet stand up straight. Was it fast? Kinda. Was it cool? Absolutely. Did it age well? Sort of. One thing the Z31 did have was more tech than the entire Apollo program. Digital gauges? Check. Voice warnings? Check. An electronic climate control that either froze you solid or melted your face off? Double check. Under the hood, a 3-liter V6 with 1 turbo, 3 liters, and enough torque to shred a pair of white leather loafers. This was the car that screamed, I'm successful, but I still blast Van Halen on cassette. It was Nissan's first step into the future, full of boost, buttons, and bold decisions. Chapter 2. Introducing the first king of the streets, the Z32. The 300ZX wasn't just fast, it was technological witchcraft. HICAS rear-wheel steering, electronic climate control, digital dashboards, active suspension. It was the peak of Nissan's engineering for the time. This thing danced through corners like a ballerina on Red Bull, and on the drag strip, you could embarrass Porsches while carrying golf clubs. Respect. In Japan, the Fairlady Z became a symbol of performance, while in America, it became the car your rich dentist drove to show he had personality. Z32s became icons. They starred in music videos, street racing scenes, and questionable rap songs. And let's not forget the tuners, because the VG30DET could handle boost like a champ and leave suckers in the dust. Some guys built 500 horsepower monsters, others just blew up the turbos trying. Either way, the car culture fell in love. Because what's better than twin turbos? A rebuilt twin turbo setup after yours exploded. Welcome to the club. Chapter 2. The beginning of the end. Halfway through the 90s, Nissan's bubble popped. Sales began to sag. Nissan's accountants started sweating. Turns out, 60 computer modules, rear-wheel steering, and a billion vacuum lines wasn't such a great idea. As Nissan's fortunes continued to dive, other issues with the 300ZX started to rear their ugly heads. Maintenance on the 300ZX was like playing Minesweeper, except every square costs $500 and the bomb is your ECU. Complicated vacuum lines, computers, and an overall lack of space made owning a 300ZX difficult. Insurance was high, repairs were higher, and by the late 90s, people realized that maybe owning a car that required an exorcism to fix wasn't the move. To make matters worse, Nissan's competitors didn't waste time sitting on their laurels. Enter the Toyota Supra, the Mazda RX-7, and Mitsubishi 3000 GT. While the 300ZX enjoyed the 90s early on, once competition showed up, it was the beginning of the end. Heavier, slower, and harder to maintain, the 300ZX began to take a backseat to the dominant competition. By 1996, Nissan pulled the plug in the US. And in Japan, the Fairlady Z limped on until the year 2000, begging for relevance like a sad MySpace page. It was the end of an era, but not the end of the love. Today, the 300ZX is a cult classic. A car that taught a generation what real performance looked and overheated like. It's a badge of honor to own one. And a test of patience to keep it running. Respect to the VG30D ETT. You gave us thrills, chills, and bills, but you earned your stripes, baby. So why did the 300ZX fail? Was it the cost, the complexity, the economy? It was a combination of all of those factors. It was a victim of its own brilliance. It was too advanced, too expensive, and too much fun to be sustainable. Like a Vegas bachelor party in car form. Without the 300ZX, we would surely not have the Skylines and 350Zs today. The 300Z had to walk so that the 350Z and the Skyline could soar. The Z32 wasn't just a car, it was a statement, and maybe, just maybe, it's time for a comeback. Thanks again for tuning into Pro Street TV. Like, comment, and share if you've ever burned your knuckles on a turbo install. RIP to the legend, but long live the Z.